Saturday marks World Blood Donor Day across the globe, and while all of us should be encouraged to give blood if we can, it's not that simple. Joining us to discuss the issues around giving blood, especially for those in marginalized communities, is Dr. Omisore Dryden, a member of the Faculty of Medicine and interim director of Black Studies Research Institute at Dalhousie University, also the author of Got Blood to Give. Welcome to you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Let's begin here. This is not new for you. You've been looking at research, so many findings over several years. So let's go back, what, 25 years into what you've been looking into? And what are some of the big issues that were spotted right out of the gates?
You know, it's so interesting to look at blood donation because we think of it as this purely medical science practice. But in my research, looking at the donor questionnaires, how we screen people, how we find, the ideal donors, right? Mm-hmm. What I found was that there was a lot of stereotypes and prejudice and, not really factual information that went into screening certain groups out of donating blood. And therefore, I think over a period of 25 years, really weeding out large populations from donation. And that is a problem over time, obviously.
Which populations have you seen the stereotypes come in, the prejudices come in?
Yeah, well, we're in Pride Month, and yes, Saturday is World Blood Donor Day. And, I'm a Black queer femme, and so I really wanted to look at this intersection of what happens around racism, what happens around homophobia, what happens around some of the stereotypes of HIV and AIDS, and of course, what we think we know about malaria. And I saw that Black queer and trans communities, LGBTQI communities were really the ones suffering the brunt out of these seemingly objective, neutral, scientific questions. And in the book, I really take some time to map through how the science was saying one thing, but the donor questionnaire was providing a different interpretation that only served to, I would say, erroneously push people out of donation.
How much has that donor questionnaire evolved over these 25 years?
Yeah, we see some changes, right? So Canadian Blood Services made a big to-do about an official apology. I put that in quotes. I talk a bit more about that in the book a couple of years ago. But now when we see questions around sex, they're still kind of based in some of these phobias or moral, values and judgments we place around sex and sexual practice. We see questions around malaria that are unique to this region, to North America, but aren't being followed in some of the best practices, say in Europe. They have different regulations around malaria there. And so these questions are still serving to weed people out of the becoming blood donors, when in fact they are perfectly capable of being good donors.
When you say, weeding people out as being donors, does this create a mentality among various communities that say, I'm not even going to bother because I don't even want to get to that point where I have to fill out that survey where I feel like I'm being weeded out. I'm just going to step back completely, which is an issue in itself.
Yeah, we are seeing that. So I actually look at the first public blood donor clinic from 1940 up until around 2023. And from 1940, including Canadian Red Cross Society, and the last 25 years longer with Canadian Blood Services, we see that there's been a systemic barrier to Black people and Black and queer people from donating blood, and Black, queer, and trans people. When you have that, in cumulative 80-year experience of not you, not you, not you, not you, then that transfers down in families. Oh no, you can't go because I couldn't go, your grandfather couldn't go, our queer auntie couldn't go, right? We can't go. And not enough is being done, I would say, by Health Canada or Canadian Blood Services to really combat that message that has said, we don't want your blood, and more needs to be done to combat that message. And that needs to be an anti-racist practice. And I think we need better equipped leadership in CBS in order to be able to do that effective messaging.
This is indeed a much bigger conversation, and I wish we had more time. Again, the book is Got Blood to Give. Where can people learn more about it and learn more about you?
Thank you so much. So if you go to gotblood2togive.com, you'll be able to find a lot of information there. And I do a timeline around blood, where the barriers were in blood donation from, as I said, last 80 years. Fernwood Publishing published my book. So if you go on Fernwood Publishing, then you'll be able to get my book there, or any local independent bookstore in your region. I had the pleasure of speaking at independent bookstores in Vancouver, and so it's it's available, and you can find information about me at Got Blood to Give.
Beautiful. Appreciate you taking the
Thank
time with us.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.